Hello, all my lovely little wow gals. It's I, Patty Buston, makeup artist extraordinaire, feminization expert. Today's makeup video is all about feminization, of course, but I have another special guest. It is none other than my best friend, my oldest friend, and actually my PT, Anton Douglas.
Hello, wow gals.
Hello.
Hello.
And he's got no clothes on.
Well, it is supposed to be the hottest day of the year.
Anton and I grew up together. It doesn't sound like it because we have quite different accents, but I actually grew up in Northern Ireland with Anton, and we'll get into all of that throughout the video.
Yes.
But I wanted to give myself a challenge of turning a chiseled hunk of a gentleman like Anton into a soft, delicate, beautiful woman. So without further ado, stay tuned and find out how we get on. So we've got Anton's gorgeous face in front of us now, all smooth and shaved, thankfully, after he didn't do his homework and he turned up very hairy.
Naughty, naughty boy.
So I'm trying to decide whether I want to cover his brows or not. I want this to look very, pretty. I will need to tweeze them. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use my tapes to lift his brows and also the lower face. I'm going to do this off camera really quickly. And then we'll kind of assess the situation. So we'll be right back in a sec. Okay, so as you can see, I've applied some tapes to the head. I'm going to start the eyes first. And I think I'm going to do something not too heavy on the eyes. And which is not something you were used to. Because whenever you used to wear makeup, it always used to be very heavy.
Yeah.
But Anton has really beautiful, really feminine eyes. A lovely fluffy lashes. And the shape of them is really almond and really femme. So I kind of want to enhance that. And I'm going to do that really subtly. But we're going to go sparkly at the same time as well. So we've known each other since when we were what? 12?
Yeah.
We went to school with each other. We were the only gays in the village for a very long time. And we went to the Royal Belfast Academical Institution. So we've known each other for a very long time. And turn your head this way for me. Like I said, we went to school with each other, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I don't know that we met as such on the bus. But we definitely saw each other first on the bus. I used to hate you at first.
I used to hate you too.
Yeah. And but I think it was probably this a subconscious thing of seeing another queer person.
Yeah.
And that kind of the thing that I'm trying not to admit that I am.
Yeah.
And we ended up becoming very, very, very good friends. And we've been friends ever since. And I think that apart from Oscar, you and I, the only people that we really, and Carl as well, that we're still in touch with from those days.
Yeah.
But you moved to Manchester recently, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yay! Finally,
Yeah.
You've been all over the place.
Yeah.
I basically moved straight to Manchester, and well, you tell us the story. Tell us a condensed version.
Yeah, condensed version is, so when we were 18, obviously it was the end of A levels, so I went to London. Patty went to Manchester. We visited each other up and down in between, so even when I moved over here, Manchester wasn't unfamiliar. Yes, obviously Patty and I started to explore, I'll say queerness together when we were maybe at the age of 14. For us, that was saving our dinner money and going into town, buying bits of makeup from Boots, smelling perfumes from Boots, going to H&M to get the seamless tights for $3.99.
Yes, the tights.
And it was all about getting outfits and looks together for the weekend. And what usually happened was Patty's mum at the time, her now fiance, but the boyfriend at the time lived in London, and she used to go over every 3 weeks. So we used to have a bit of a shindig around at Patty's house. It was an escape.
Yes.
It was an escape.
And that escape kind of just became a thing that didn't go away.
And it was addictive. The escape, looking back, looking back on it now, the escape was addictive, and therefore the clothes became addictive, the makeup became addictive, the attention as well became addictive. Both of us grew up as teenagers at the birth of social media and YouTube. So I can remember watching loads of videos of the New Romantics, and I wanted to live that life. And when I went to London, I got that life, but it came at a price.
Yes, at a price.
Yeah, and the price was my health. Obviously there was a lot of drugs, and you know, I did a lot of DJing. I did a lot of hosting. You know, I had some experiences that will stay with me. Some of those London times still come into my mind, and I remember them as if they were yesterday, even though they're more than 10 years ago now. But yeah, I came home, and I was 8 stone. I'm 5'10", so you know, 8 stone's really thin. Like I was emaciated.
Now, you were always very thin.
Yes.
But, like, I remember there's pictures of us, and it was around the time that my sister got married.
Yeah.
And, like, you looked so ill. Really, really ill.
So, yeah, after I left London, I kind of knew myself that I needed my own kind of rehab.
Just open your eyes for me a second. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Go back to the rehab.
Yes, I knew myself that I needed some sort of rehab. So I wanted to go and work for a camping tour operator on campsite receptions in and around Europe, and I did that for about 5 years. And then the kind of gym thing came to me about 2018. I was training inconsistently. Then COVID hit. Then coming out of COVID,
just turn this way a little bit.
I started with a coach called Josh Coyle. He is IFBB Pro, and things changed for me then, and it was a way to kind of channel my chaos.
Yes.
Yeah, my addiction.
Yes.
And I ended up doing a men's physique show that I got second place, silver out of 9 of them, which I was really happy with. And then I decided that I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to share that with other people. Now that story comes with a whole lot of, because you know, from androgynous being to stepping on stage, it's not only is it a physical journey, but it's a mental journey as well. And I had to break down a lot of mental barriers from like locker room anxiety. You know, in Ireland you had to cope with, you know, basically training in gyms that were full of paramilitaries, which obviously had certain opinions of me and who I am and what I was doing there. So yeah, it was hard, but worth it. Then now I just started PTing here in Manchester in November. Things are going well, but obviously it's the first year in the business, so I think the first year in any business is difficult and ups and downs and lots of kind of learning.
What would you say has been the hardest thing about that transition from the life in London to and the chaos that you had there to your life here in Manchester? And
the hardest transition?
Yeah.
Oh God, there's so much. I think maybe the first one is trying to be an adult.
Yeah, because you weren't very good at that for
No.
a very long time.
No, you're trying to be an adult and paying bills. And
What's been the best part?
the best part, I think the freedom. It's small things like as I was saying to you earlier, even to do this today, I can just kind of flip things about to be able to do that. And it's not, for me, it sounds like such a small thing, but for me it's massive. You know, freedom within reason is important to me.
Just open your eyes.
You know, before I did that, I was part of hospitality, and you know, not working weekends, working on sociable hours, not having a social life. It's, you know, it's soul destroying.
Yeah.
It is. And I think as well, a lot of people in hospitality, they do have, there's drug problems there, there's alcohol problems there. Not that there isn't in...
I wasn't going to say that, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's very much alcohol and drug problems in the queer scene as well.
Yeah, but I think the difference is I'm able to dip in and out of it.
Well, that's good.
Where with work, it was always there, and you know, if you're not gonna take a drink with them at the end of work, then you don't have that social connection.
I'm just pressing this really pretty, I think this is one of the P. Louise pigments all across the lids. You smirking, you little shit.
What type of brush is it?
This is a Makeover 1.4 brush. 1.45 brush. What's it called? My Soft Sweep. This is a lovely brush.
Are you not doing the whole...
Hang on. It doesn't work on him.
MUA.
Yeah. Well, I have to give you the inner corner highlight. So when Anton used to
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
The inner corner highlight, that was, yeah.
But we're not giving you the big black. Anton's eye makeup was so fascinating. And it took about 2 seconds to do. It was like a black cream on the outer corner?
It was... Where? In this corner?
Yeah, the outer corners was black and the inner corner was like silver.
Yeah.
But there was 2 things. And I remember sitting and watching in fascination with what you doing at once because it took seconds.
Yeah, literally, I used to get a mascara brush and got it really, really wet. And I could make a shape with the brush. But the thing... Oh, well, sure. You probably know yourself, but when you go to club nearly every night of the week... You're fucking exhausted. So you wanted something that was quick and easy, but effective.
Was it really about the polish, was it?
No, it was not. Season 4 was really the season where it took off.
Yes.
Right, but that was just being aired at that time. So, you know, even the top queens at the time, like, you look back on...
Everyone looked shit.
Yeah.
Apart from those few people, like Dusty O, looked flawless and immaculate and perfect all the time.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. And you know,
I would say probably Lily Lloyd did.
Yeah.
2.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of people here that actually look good, but the vast majority of us look shit.
But even at that top level of RuPaul's Drag Race, when you look at them now from 10 years ago, even Jinx. When she was on season 5.
I mean, bless her, she looked awful. And I think everyone acknowledged that when she was on it, she looked awful.
Yeah. Where now, to me, Jinx is just
beautiful.
Incredible.
Open? Very little wings we're doing for you.
I feel like fucking, what's her from Paris is Burning Dorian Gray in my day. But no, in our day, as a teenager, you know, it was all about the times that we did get ready in McDonald's toilets.
Yes.
Or in back streets because we couldn't get ready in our parents' house to go to the clubs. What about the times where there was you, me and Carl and we'd booked the Premier Inn?
We got kicked out.
But no, they wouldn't let us in because there was 3 of us.
Yes, that's
but
right.
But only 2 on the booking.
Yes.
But this was at fucking 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, so we ended up having to go back to some random man's house and like sleep on the top floor. And... I remember.
And Carl was off his tits.
And just chatting all this nonsense, and we were dying. And I feel like there was lots of glasses of water, and like lots of like random like jugs and mugs of water in this room as well.
And I can remember saying to myself, I wish he would fucking shut his face. But yeah, and then I can remember, I felt bad, like, but I can remember then the guy texting you from...
Yes, for sex.
Yes.
But we were too out of it to go downstairs and do anything. I could barely walk or like the jaw swinging off my face. Like it was an absolute... That would never have happened.
But you know, these days, because of the likes of RuPaul's Drag Race, you know, the ones who are doing it in their teens, they are getting ready in their parents' house, and which is good. But at the same time, it's taken away that bit, that experience of having to do that. Where for us, having to get ready in these kind of chaotic, I'll go as far as to say unsafe.
Oh yeah, very unsafe.
Yeah, environments was part and parcel of it, and was probably part of the appeal as well.
I don't know if that it was the appeal for me. I think the necessity.
I think for me it probably was. it was rebellion.
Yeah, close your eyes. Yes. Well, you seek chaos though in life, so.
Yeah.
Whereas I just always remember, and this is the thing that I always have to pinch myself, that I have this place now, and with what I've created, because there were those days when we were like 16, 17, where we were like, I hate the fact that I have to go and get ready in the toilets in Cafe Nero. All I want to do is just be able to have like my makeup out in my bedroom. And now I have like a whole studio dedicated towards helping people with stuff like that. And I'm so glad.
So I'll ask you the question again that we're further into the video. What are your general thoughts these days on school?
I felt like while I was at school, a lot of my autonomy over myself was taken away from me. In regards to like, you know, I was told that I was this. I was told that I was gay. I was told that I was that. I was told that I didn't belong because I was English. I was told all these different things growing up in Northern Ireland as a queer person. And I felt like I had no power. And it wasn't until I moved away, and then I realized that all those things I was told were actually where my power lies, and that's why people were telling me all this stuff about me. I mean, being English wasn't where my power lies, but being different is. Look up for me. And I think that like I had this huge fear of masculinity for so long. Look up to your right, which is in part because my experiences of masculinity when I was younger were always incredibly negative. I didn't really have a particularly good masculine role model growing up. Meaning so because my dad isn't that masculine. And bless him, when he moved away, look up for me, which he did when I was like 12, I'd say. I didn't have that influence on me anymore. And then my stepdad, I resented him a lot when he came into my life. My stepdad's a great guy, and I love him to bits. But I was young, and I was
It's hard as a teenager to see that. Yeah, I get that.
Turn this way. Look up for me. And then when I was in school, because like again, for like Anton and I went to an all boys school. It was just masculinity all around me, and apart from like 3 maybe female teachers who were nice.
The bit that resonated with me there was when you were talking about you were told X, Y, and Z about you.
Yep.
You know, in my case, I was told because I was gay and feminine and into makeup and heels and wigs that therefore I was redundant when it came to sport or gym or anything like that. And obviously that's untrue.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, I probably do hold, you know, resentment towards the school with particular people in
Look out for me. Oh yeah, and I think you are within your right, so.
Yeah, and a lot of them are actually teachers rather than pupils, because I think that's where the rot starts.
Yeah, no, totally. Because like when you're a pupil, you're young and you're stupid.
Yeah.
But the teachers who should have known better.
Yeah.
But some of them, like some of the vile stuff that was said to us by some of the teachers, and yeah. But also, like, I just think that now I'm just like, well, I'm better than them, so I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, there are some people I'd love to slap around the face. Care to name any?
Yeah, the one that I probably have the biggest one with is Mr. Johnson.
That's right. Oh yeah, God, Mr. Johnson.
Like, I was never in any of his classes. He never taught me, but he
singled us out, yeah.
Yeah. He still managed to single us out and make a mockery.
Yeah.
And
to be fair, I did have him for one year.
I didn't.
It was particularly you, I think.
Yeah.
That he had an issue with.
Yeah.
Because you were always much more flamboyant. Mm-hmm. And I think I kind of just sulked into the background a little bit. Mm-hmm. When it got to like sixth form and stuff, and I came out of my shell a bit more, I don't think I did as much. But Anton was this, stick thin, like at times big curly bouffant hair.
Lots of hair. Yeah.
Or no hair, because you shaved your head at one point.
Yeah.
And you minced around that school. There was no escape from who you are.
No.
And a lot of people, made you very aware of that. What are some of the funniest memories that you have of us growing up? And there is a very, very long list of them, I can imagine.
The day you fell off your chair in physics, all you see was the 2 legs in the air.
I don't remember this.
Oh my
You bring this up all the time, but I don't remember it.
I will never forget it. Because it wasn't chairs you sat on in that class, it was stools. And it used to do my fucking head in, because my back used to be aching after it. And it was always double periods, so you were there for over an hour. And
Why is this so dark?
I forget, did somebody pull your
Yes. I do. It was fucking Peter Coffey.
Yeah.
Pulled the chair out from behind me.
And all I seen was 2 legs in the air, and then she got up, and the face was just pure shock, but the face was also like trying to pretend that it didn't happen at the same time.
You were traumatized. I do remember that. We were awful in that physics class.
Oh my God.
Our poor teacher.
Roberta.
I mean, bless her, she didn't help herself.
I'll never forget her tits. Do you remember the tits? They were fucking massive.
Yeah,
They were massive.
But do you know what I always remember doing? And this was there's this lad, Peter Coffey, in our class.
Peter Coffey.
He was the kid that sold like.
He was the knick-knack man.
He was the every school had
chocolates
had that thing. He came up to me, you want, what was it like? You want a mechanical or whatever it was, and he had this thing at like 50p for like like roller cola. He sat, because my last name was a B and then his was a C, so he sat behind me, and then you probably were behind him as well or something.
Yeah, I was D, so I was.
But I remember going up to the teacher's computer and putting a magnet against the screen.
I don't remember. Roberta's?
Yes. And because back then, like, for the kids who are watching at home won't know this, but like the old like glass screens, if you put a magnet against it, it would go all weird and wobbly.
I remember how they used to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I did that once, and she was like, "Who's done this to my screen?" And I was like, "It's Peter." And she believed. So he got in trouble. And he was like, "Mustn't make this. And
Did she ever admit to it?
no.
I can remember you being cheekier like that than me in general.
Yes, I was. But I think that's how I kind of coped in school. Well, a lot of people in general, but I think especially a lot of queer people, like when we were younger, we would go on Teen Chat. And then
Teen Chat?
Yeah, there was that website Teen Chat where and you'd go and you'd post.
See, looking back on it now.
So dangerous.
Yeah. Looking back on it now.
Because I remember being like 13 or 14
I do.
and going on, and you'd say ASL. So you'd be like,
oh, so it was all ASL.
So you'd be like 13 Dremore, and and then people would, and then you'd put your Addy, your email, your MSN address in, and then you'd get all these people adding you.
Yeah.
And then like there were nights when, this is awful, but there were nights where you'd have like 20 people on webcam at
all
one point.
At once. Yeah.
And so you were like live streaming, going.
But you were doing it for free.
Yes. The worst part is, like, it was just all these old men. And
Fuck
we were
all
really
these memories.
young.
Do you remember, there was one, I want to say his name was Ben, but I can't be sure. And I think we were only 15, 16. And I can remember you coming in saying, I've had to stop talking to him because he's 32.
Oh, Ian Gasson.
Was that his name?
Yeah, he was stringing me along for ages. Yeah, and he told me that he was like, I was devastated about that.
Yeah. And sure, remember the one I was devastated about? dude_dude100@hotmail.com. We still don't know who that was.
Oh, this was Mr. Nameless.
Yes,
yeah.
we still don't know. So the story of... Right, so we'll have to set the scene. So obviously, back then, I keep saying birth of social media, blah, blah, blah. But it was all MSN. And you used to go home at night to get onto MSN. And obviously you had, like, normal people from school there that you would chat with or whatever. But
I feel like you've gone down, sit up a bit.
it was... But MSN was mainly used for C2C. And
when Anton says C2C, he means, for those of you who don't know, who are too young to remember, cam to cam, like webcamming, and 9 times out of 10, C2C was like a sex thing.
Yeah. And so this guy had added me, dude_dude100 at hotmail.com, and he never told me who he was, and he said that he was somebody in school, and he went on cam for me, and he never showed his face ever, but the body was incredible, and he had a beautiful dick as well. So of course at that age I was like obsessed, and I was like, I wonder is he going to be on tonight, and some nights he was and some nights he wasn't, but still to this day I never know who it was. Really the primary purpose for us for MSN was to C2C, which is to cam guys. But this guy had added me, dude_dude100 hotmail.com, and he came on cam, and he never showed me from his his neck down. He had a beautiful body and this beautiful dick, and he said he was a guy in school. And
turn that this way a bit more for me.
I think he must have talked to me for a grand total of a year more. Like it was a long time. And
maybe he'll come out of the woodworks.
Maybe.
Let's put this out into the universe.
Yeah.
That if Mr. Nameless, what's his name?
Dude_dude100.
There you go. If you're out there watching this video, reach out, get in touch. One of those things that was like super informative to us, and it almost sounds a bit cliched now, but it was Drag Race. We started watching it from day dot, like in 2008 when it first came out, and you had to...
There was a program that we used, and you could download... It searched, you typed in something, and it...
Was it LimeWire?
LimeWire. That was it. Yeah.
We had already started, like, you know, dressing femme and experimenting with our gender and makeup and everything back at that point. But Drag Race kind of, like, really amplified everything, I think, for us. And,
But then...
we had our own version.
Yes, we did our own. There was there still is a drag queen in Belfast called Trudy Scrumptious. And...
who we love very much.
Yeah. And she made Trudy's Drag Race, and that was a drag competition that we both entered. And it was really the theme tune. You got to talk about the theme tune.
Did it go Trudy's Drag Race?
Yeah, she basically took the theme tune, but Trudy's Drag Race.
I mean, she wouldn't be able to get away with that.
No,
no. But we did. I was out in the first round. I was absolutely shit at performing. I was terrible at it. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, I went up against Paletta Sletta, and that's pretty like.
Was your first lip sync against?
Yes.
No, it wasn't. It was against the blonde one.
Was it not?
It was. I can remember the tune. I am telling you. That was the...
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, fuck, I remember it.
I've...
But the one who...
I did Freakum Dress was my song. I remember that. Because I had that black and white dress that was my Freakum Dress.
But see, looking back on it now, Freakum Dress wasn't your number, honey.
Of course it wasn't.
No, you'd have been... You'd have been better with something like From Chicago or something like that.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
Yeah, or something like that.
But I didn't know what I wanted or who I was.
No, it wasn't... That song wasn't really in my wheelhouse either. I'm trying to remember the numbers I did for the Drag Race. I did Pete Burns.
You did Hung Up. I remember that.
Hung Up. Yeah. Hung Up, Pete Burns. I think there was a week that I was immune from elimination. And I think I was lucky I got immunity that week because...
That was the Hung Up week, I feel like.
No, it was Bibi Zahara Benet week. I did her track. I'm the shit.
You loved that song?
Yeah, Bibi Zahara Benet. Yeah.
When you walk in... Oh, we can't sing.
No. But, yeah. And then... Oh, I remember it did as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me scream if you want some more.
Did we not do that together for something? I
think
remember practicing the dances.
on beach balls.
Yes.
We did it with beach
and
balls.
the hats.
Yeah.
But I don't actually have a memory of, like, doing it. We have to talk about our video phone and telephone.
Oh, fuck.
A white ginger Beyonce.
Oh, God, we'll have to talk about Alice Off. as well.
Yes. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So many of these little stupid things that still to this day are stuck in my head. So the first drag performances that we ever did, from my memory, that was we did together. We did video phone and telephone. Which
On the same night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is when they just come out.
Yeah.
And we made the outfits. I mean,
do you know what? See, when I look back at the white leotards.
yeah. And my yellow dress.
Yes.
Was nice.
Yes. Do you remember getting ready at, well, of course, Johnny McKelvey's house? Mm-hmm. Johnny McKelvey brought a fella up called Cahill.
Cahill?
So, these were the decoy days. Do you remember decoy?
Yes, I remember decoy.
So, basically, I kind of got the vibe at Johnny McKelvey's house that Cahill had a bit of a thing for me. So
you were obsessed with him.
I was. I thought he was so sexy. So we were like kissing each other and whatever in the club. And he went to put his hand down to feel my nether regions. But it was all taped up with duct tape. Sure, how many times did I have spaghetti mouth?
Oh my god, so many times. Red lips everywhere.
Yeah. What about the bin man? Do you remember the bin man?
I don't remember the bin man.
Oh, you do. It was not one of my finer moments in life, shall we say.
But sure, tell everyone. About the bin man, I don't remember this. Just try and keep that wee before I'd relax from home.
About me off in the Kremlin toilets.
Oh, is this the apple with cheese guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And he had so much fucking around his, you could have planted spuds in it.
Oh my god.
And then everybody was taking the piss out of me afterwards.
Because you came out crying.
Why was I crying?
I feel like, and you, that's, remember this. I wish I had this picture, because I had a picture of you from that night. You had your blue dress on, red lipstick all over your face, and this was when you were in your, I mean, controversial, but you were in your geisha phase, and so you had your big orange beehive, which was all your real hair, and then the red lipstick was smeared all over your face. So we just got the white Illamasqua compact and kept putting more and more and more of it on your face. So it was like mixing, so your whole face went like pink. And I just remember it mixing more and more and more. Whilst you were crying about everything that was going on.
What was I crying about, though?
God knows. Just probably just about you just kept going, it's the apple, it smelled like apple and cheese.
Maybe a bit random, but I was talking to somebody through the week how much Manchester's changed from when I first started coming over to visit you to now. Like back then, all you heard was Mancunian accents.
Yeah, totally. And now it's all Southerners.
Yeah, and even like continental European people.
Yep.
As well.
Can you remember the last time you had your makeup done? Was it when I last did yours?
I think it was, yeah.
Oh my god, it's been literally like nearly 10 years. No, that's a picture I'm going to have to hunt down. I think mascara and like lashes is the bit, look up for me, that makes so much difference, especially when you've got such beautiful long lashes like these. I think so many people default when it comes to feminizing makeup to just go really big with everything. And to just do like drag and big eyes, big lips. And that does make a big difference. And it can have a really high impact. But, you know, you can also just like really enhance someone's features and let their natural beauty shine through too. Close your eyes. Do you not follow me? I sometimes like. I actually think that the dark eyes can be quite masculinizing rather than feminizing. Oh, the lashes make all the difference. Close. Some big juicy lips. Oh, there she is. I've not seen that face for a long time. Albeit a bit... a bit more polished, but hey-ho, that's the makeup done. I think we're going to throw on some hair and a little outfit and we'll come right back. And there we have it. Oh, look at her. The laugh, though. That's the thing that gives it away.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I was saying off camera. It's strange feeling like a big mama, because obviously when I did it before, when I was younger, I was really, really thin, and I've got more weight on me, so I feel like hefty.
But you feel like sexy milfy now.
Yeah.
I feel like this is...
It's like brothel owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your progression.
Where's the money, honey?
From when you were younger, you were the prostitute.
Yeah.
You were the street whore, and now you own it. And you own all that money, honey. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I love you very, very much. You weirdo.
Thank you for listening to everything that we were talking
All
about.
of our ridiculousness. Please like, subscribe, share, follow, and if you want, you can come and visit me at our gals. And
you can come and visit me at Spinning Fields, Pure Gym, Manchester.
Yes, if you want to look like this, you can.
Do you want to be a hefty mama too?
Yeah.
Come to me. We'll get you sorted. Here we go.
Amazing.